What are the biggest myths about the Paris Peace Conference? Imagine a world where peace was easily achieved after a devastating war. Now, forget that idea because the truth about the Paris Peace Conference is much more complicated. Many believe it was a simple gathering of victorious nations to create lasting peace, but in reality, it was a complex event filled with conflicting interests and tough negotiations. The main players, the United States, Britain, France, and Italy, held most of the power, leaving smaller nations with little say. This created feelings of injustice, especially in Germany, which felt sidelined and resentful. Another common myth is that the Treaty of Versailles was solely responsible for causing World War II. While the treaty did impose harsh penalties on Germany, like reparations and territorial losses, historians agree it was not the only cause. The war guilt clause, which blamed Germany for the war, was misunderstood. Many Germans used it as propaganda to reject their obligations. The treaty's failures stemmed from the conflicting goals of the major powers and the difficult post-war environment, not just vindictiveness or short-sightedness. Some think the conference was mainly about creating a perfect new world order based on President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points. Though Wilson's ideas inspired many, they clashed with Britain, France, and Italy's desire to keep or expand their colonies. The conference was as much about power and territory as it was about peace and justice. The negotiations often reflected national interests rather than pure ideals. Lastly, many believe the Paris Peace Conference was a single, well-organized event with a clear plan. But it was far from that. As new nations and groups arrived seeking recognition or independence, the agenda kept expanding. The conference became chaotic, with many petitions and claims that the main powers struggled to handle. So the biggest myths are that the conference was fair and simple, that it caused World War II alone, that all nations had equal influence, that it fully realized Wilson's goals, and that it was a tightly controlled event. In truth, it was a messy, complicated process shaped by the aftermath of war, national interests, and the challenge of building a new international order.